The Division of Local Services within the Massachusetts Department of Revenue provides oversight of and technical assistance to cities and towns in achieving fair and equitable property taxation and efficient fiscal management. The Commissioner of Revenue administers and enforces all laws relating to the valuation, classification, and taxation of property by Massachusetts cities and towns. The Division of Local Services, or DLS, is the division within the Department of Revenue that carries out the Commissioner's regulatory duties. As part of those duties, DLS may direct assessors to take action needed to enforce fair cash value assessments within their city or town, but cannot require you to take action on the valuation or assessment of a particular property. It may also inspect the work of the assessors and any of their records. It may require assessors to submit reports on local assessing matters. As indicated, the Division of Local Services carries out the regulatory duties of the Commissioner of Revenue regarding local property taxes. These duties include the following. DLS sets minimum standards for assessment performance. It may set standards on valuation methods, assessing records, tax maps, and assessor and assessing staff qualifications. Examples of DLS standards include the assessor training requirements and standards for certifying local assessments. DLS prescribes, that is, determines the content of tax bills, abatement and exemption applications, and various other forms used in assessment administration. Communities can adapt forms to generate them by computer so long as they include the same information and legal notices in the prescribed forms. DLS, through its Bureau of Local Assessment, reviews local assessing practices every 5 years and certifies that the assessments reflect fair cash value. BLA advises assessors about the reassessment program needed to achieve certifiable values and monitors the program's implementation. BLA also has assessors report the results of reassessment programs they implement in the years between certification, referred to as interim valuation adjustments, before they set the tax rate. DLS calculates the limit on each community's annual tax levy under Proposition 2.5 levy limit. DLS also approves each community's tax rate and ensures that the tax levy fixed by that rate reflects a balanced budget within its levy limit. The Division of Local Services also provides technical assistance to assessors and other local officials. It conducts training and educational programs for local officials in the areas of municipal taxation and finance. This includes its own programs and programs offered by professional associations, such as the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers. DLS issues and publishes on its website written guidance for local officials on local tax and finance laws. This includes informational guidelines releases, or IGRs, that detail legal and administrative policies and procedures related to local administration and finance. Local finance opinions, or LFOs, that address specific local tax and finance issues or questions of interest. Bulletins that contain announcements and other municipal finance information for local officials. Frequently asked questions, or FAQs, and other information about municipal tax and finance. DLS issues City and Town, which is a bi-weekly e-newsletter with information of importance to local officials. Through its municipal data bank, DLS maintains current and historical socioeconomic, financial, budget, property tax, and assessment data for all 351 cities and towns. DLS is headed by a Senior Deputy Commissioner and consists of 6 operational and support bureaus or units. Its main office is located in Boston, and it has regional offices in Worcester and Springfield. Contact information for all offices can be found on our website. The Bureau of Local Assessment, or BLA, oversees DLS appraisal programs and activities. You will interact with BLA during your 5-year review of local property valuations and assessments to ensure fair and uniform property taxes. BLA also oversees implementation of property tax classification and approves your tax-based growth under Proposition 2.5. The Bureau of Accounts, or BOA, approves property tax rates and ensures compliance with Proposition 2.5 property tax limits. You will interact with BOA while setting your tax rate each year. It also certifies free cash and assists cities, towns, counties, and special districts with audits, accounting, and treasury management. The Bureau of Municipal Finance Law, or MFLB, serves as legal counsel to the DLS and provides legal and policy advice to DLS managers and staff. It issues guidelines and reviews and approves all interpretations of municipal finance and tax laws. It also provides informal guidance to current local officials through its Attorney of the Day phone and email service. The Technical Assistance Bureau, or TAB, coordinates DLS's technical assistance and management consulting reviews for communities. The Municipal Data Bank and Local Aid Unit distributes local aid and collects and analyzes financial, demographic, and economic data on cities and towns. This includes the local assessment and tax rate information you submit to DLS. The Information Technology Unit, or DLS IT, provides technical services to DLS bureaus and local governments. DLS assigns community advisors to assist local finance officers. Each city and town has one representative from the Bureau of Accounts and one from the Bureau of Local Assessment. BLA representatives work with assessors during the 5-year certification and other valuation programs, and BOA representatives work with the assessors during the tax rate setting process. As stated earlier, DLS establishes minimum standards for assessment performance, including the qualification of assessing personnel. The current standard requires that assessors, as well as members of their staff that have valuation responsibilities, complete Course 101, Assessment Administration, Law, Procedures, and Valuation, and pass the learning assessments for all modules within 2 years of their original election or appointment. If you do not meet this minimum standard, you are not qualified to perform the statutory duties of your office. In addition, you must meet a separate requirement under state law that a majority of the members of your Board of Assessors be qualified to classify property. This requirement must be met in order for your city or town to make decisions under the property tax classification and then have its tax rate approved. You will learn about property tax classification in Module 4 of this course. And successful completion of that module will qualify you to classify property.